Brett Johnson, once dubbed the original Internet Godfather, was a notorious cybercriminal who masterminded identity theft and financial fraud. Today, he is a leading cybersecurity expert and a public speaker. This is his story of transformation from a life of crime to becoming a beacon of hope in the fight against cybercrime. Brett Johnson grew up in eastern Kentucky, a place where opportunities were scarce and crime was often a way of life. From a very young age, he was exposed to a world of scams and frauds which were orchestrated by his family. His mother, who was a relentless criminal, and his father, who was an enabler, shaped Brett's early understanding of what is right and wrong. Growing up, crime was very normal for Brett. He and his sister would steal food because they were hungry. It was just what they did to survive. When Brett turned 10, his mother left his father and moved him and his sister to Hazard, Kentucky. She would leave them alone for days at a time to go out partying. On one occasion, Brett's sister Denise came home with stolen pork chops and showed Brett how to shoplift, and soon it became their way of getting by. Stealing became a family affair. Brett's mother and grandmother joined in, taking road trips to shoplift from various stores. This early life of crime set the stage for Brett's future endeavors. Little did they know, Brett would soon become to be known as US's most wanted cybercriminal. In the early 2000s, Brett co-founded ShadowCrew, which was a notorious online marketplace for stolen credit card numbers and various other illegal goods. ShadowCrew revolutionized cybercrime and started providing a platform for criminals to collaborate and share their expertise. ShadowCrew was a game changer. It created a trust mechanism among criminals and facilitated large-scale frauds. It was the precursor to all of today's darknet markets. ShadowCrew wasn't just a place to buy and sell stolen data. It was a community where criminals could share tips, verify each other's credibility, and collaborate on large-scale operations. This site quickly grew to thousands of members, all working together to commit various cybercrimes. Brett's leadership and the innovative structure of ShadowCrew had made it one of the most successful and notorious cybercrime groups of its time. In August 2004, the group's activities were featured on the front cover of Forbes magazine, highlighting their prominence in the cybercrime world. Only a couple of months later, in October 2004, the United States Secret Service conducted a massive operation arresting 33 members of ShadowCrew across 6 countries. Brett Johnson, however, managed to evade capture initially. He was on the run, but eventually they caught up with him in February 2005. This was the end of ShadowCrew and the beginning of a new chapter in his life. After his arrest, Brett was given an unexpected opportunity. Instead of serving a lengthy prison sentence, he was asked to work with the Secret Service to combat cybercrime. Brett's insider knowledge was invaluable in understanding the tactics of modern-day cybercriminals. Brett was able to provide unprecedented insights into the cybercrime world. He was instrumental in the takedown of various criminal operations and helped establish the Secret Service's Electronic Crimes Task Force. One of Brett's significant contributions was his role in the takedown of the ShadowCrew itself. Despite his initial involvement, Brett used his knowledge to help law enforcement dismantle the very network he had helped create. Despite his cooperation with the Secret Service, Brett's past had started catching up with him. In 2006, he was sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison for his role in a credit card fraud scheme. It was during this time that Brett began to reflect on his life and the impact of all of his actions. It took 2.5 years in prison for him to accept responsibility for his actions, and he had started to realize the pain he had caused and knew he had to change. Upon his release in 2011, Brett had dedicated himself to educating others about the dangers of cybercrime. He had founded Anglerfish to raise awareness and works as a consultant for businesses and law enforcement agencies. His mission right now is to prevent others from making the same mistakes he did. And his goal is to protect people from the type of person he used to be. He wants to make sure no one else falls victim to the tactics he had once used. Brett's work right now has taken him all over the world, speaking at conferences, training law enforcement, and even mentoring at-risk youth. He volunteers with the FBI's Child Exploitation Task Force, which helps to protect the most vulnerable out there from online predators. The COVID-19 pandemic brought new challenges and opportunities for cybercriminals. Brett's expertise became even more critical as he helped agencies understand the surge in fraud targeting government benefits. As technology evolves, so do the methods of cybercriminals. Even Brett warns of the impending threats posed by AI and real-time deepfakes. AI is currently being used in scams to build trust and create more convincing phishing emails. The future will bring even more sophisticated attacks, and all we can do is be prepared. Brett's forward-looking approach helps organizations stay ahead of all of these emerging threats, ensuring they're always prepared for the challenges of tomorrow. Brett Johnson's journey from cybercriminal to security expert has given him unique insights into protecting personal information. Here are his top tips for staying safe online. Firstly, he advises us to freeze our credit cards. All major credit bureaus offer the option to freeze your credit, which prevents new account fraud. This is a simple yet powerful tool to protect against unauthorized credit openings. Brett advises freezing the credit of all family members, including children, as they are increasingly targeted for identity theft. According to Brett, a quarter of all kids will be victim of identity theft or fraud. Freezing their credit prevents this. Freezing your credit doesn't affect your credit score, but it will add an extra layer of security that can deter fraudsters. Next up, Brett advises us to monitor our accounts. We should regularly check our financial accounts and set up alerts for all of our transactions. In doing so, we can detect suspicious activity immediately and take action to prevent further fraud. Cards from companies like Discover have $0 alerts, notifying you even if someone has tested your card's validity. These immediate alerts help you stop fraud in its tracks, and consistently monitoring your accounts can help you catch and address fraudulent activities swiftly, minimizing all of the potential damage. Thirdly, Brett advises us to use strong and unique passwords. At least 80% of people use the same password across multiple websites, which makes it easy for cybercriminals to access several accounts if one password has been compromised. Using a password manager can help you create and store strong and unique passwords for each of your accounts. Speaking of passwords, Brett also strongly advises that we enable multi-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of security because it requires 2 or more verification steps to access any of your accounts. This could be a combination of something you know, like a password, or something you have on your person, like a phone, or something you are, like your fingerprint. Multi-factor authentication makes it significantly harder for criminals to gain access to your accounts, even if they have your password. MFA is one of the most effective ways to enhance your account security, providing an additional barrier against all of the unauthorized access. Brett's next advice for us is to be wary of phishing attempts. You see, cybercriminals often use phishing to trick you into giving away your personal information. This is why you should be cautious of unsolicited emails, messages, or even links. Always make sure that you verify the sender's authenticity before clicking on any links or providing your sensitive information. You should always double-check the sender's information and avoid clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown sources. Phishing attempts are becoming more sophisticated with time, but staying vigilant and verifying your sources can protect you from falling victim. One of Brett's most valued advice is to follow in his footsteps and educate yourself and others. You see, awareness and education are critical in the fight against cybercrime. Staying informed about the latest scams and security practices and sharing this knowledge with family and friends is crucial in the time where AI is taking over. Knowledge is power. The more informed you are, the better you can protect yourself and those around you. Regularly updating your knowledge on cybersecurity threats and prevention methods can help create a safer online environment for everyone. Brett's last advice for all of us is to regularly update our software. Even though we avoid doing this chore, keeping your software and devices up to date ensures that you have the latest security patches and protections. Cybercriminals often exploit vulnerabilities in outdated software to gain access to systems. Software updates often include critical security patches. Keeping your systems updated reduces the risk of exploitation. You should also try automating your updates to save time and ensure that your devices are always protected with the latest security measures. With that said, Brett Johnson's story is a very powerful reminder that even those who have strayed far can find redemption. His transformation from the original Internet Godfather to a cybersecurity advocate shows that change is possible with the right mindset and determination. Through his work, Brett continues to protect others from the threats he once posed. For more information, we recommend you visit Brett Johnson's work at anglerfish.com. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button or subscribe to our channel for more updates on cybersecurity. Remember, stay safe, stay informed, and always stay vigilant. See you in the next video.